Good afternoon and welcome to the Planning Committee here today on the Thursday the 12th of August. Before we start, I'd just like to welcome Councillor Paul Brown, who's now joined our committee.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and on the papers we had Councillor Suhat, and she's no longer part of our committee. She never actually attended any meetings, but so Councillor Brown is in instead of. And so before we start, can my Vice Chairman read out the safety measures, please?
Thank you, Chairman. The building fire alarm signal is a continuous two-tone alarm. On hearing the evacuation alarm, 1, leave the building by the nearest marked exit route. 2, follow the green signs to the assembly point, large staff car park opposite the entrance to the building. 3, anyone who cannot use the stairs will be helped by the officers present after the people have left. 4, do not return to the building until told it's safe to do so by an authorised officer. The whole of the council's site is a no smoking area, and please mobile phones should be either switched off or to silent.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. And can I just remind members, please don't bang on the chair tables and don't get hold of the microphones, please. They are placed there so that we
will die immediately.
I won't go as far to say that, but so anyway, we're moving on to the agenda now. Item 1 is to receive apologies for absence. Councillor Walker is away. He's the only apology I've got. Item 2 is to receive declarations of interest from members in respect of any matter on the agenda. Is anybody? Councillor Pulfer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to note that in respect of DM 211758, I am a member of the Town Council Planning Committee, and we did comment on it, and I can assure members that I am open-minded. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pulfer. Item 3 is to confirm the minutes of the meeting we held on the 15th of July. Are all those okay?
Agreed.
And Alex, I will sign them off. What I haven't done is introduce members of the committee. I'm Councillor Gary Marsh. I'm the chairman of the committee. To my left is Councillor Cooke, who's my vice chairman. To his left is Tom Clark, senior legal officer. To my right is Nick Rogers, development control manager. And to his right is Caroline, who's going to be the first item. And in front of us are the members of the public. No, not. Members of the committee who will make the decision. And over in the corner is Alex, who's taken the minutes. So now go to item 4, is to consider any items that I, as the chairman, agreed to take as urgent business. I have none. So we now go to the substantive part, which is item 5, and that's DM 211441 Kemp's House, London Road, Bolcombe. Caroline, this is all yours.
Thank you, Chairman. So the application before you seeks planning permission for the temporary retention of 2 Marquis for 2 years. The application relates to Kemp's House, a Grade 2 star listed building that is situated to the east of London Road. To the west of the site is Kemp's Farm, a Grade 2 listed building, and to the east is the railway line. As the plan shows, there are 2 accesses to the site from London Road. The northern access leads directly to Kemp's House, and the southern access is expected to be the public access to the business that is located here. The site is located within the countryside, as defined by the Mid-Sussex District Plan, as well as the High Weald area of outstanding natural beauty. There is also a public right-of-way that runs east to west through the top of the site. This plan shows in more detail the arrangement around Kemp's House, to the north, which is to the north of the site. There is an established business that runs from this property, and buildings to the southwest have been converted for this purpose. Further south is a car park that the public uses. The first marquee, labelled A, is to the east of the site, whilst the second, B, is to the south. These structures were erected during the pandemic to assist in the business running in a COVID-compliant way. These are the elevations and floor plans for Marquee A. It has been in use as a photography studio so that marketing content could be created on site. The marquee has been partially finished in oak cladding and has timber windows and doors. This is Marquee B, which has been finished in a similar way to the first. It is described as a showroom on the plans, and it is advised that the project development and logistic teams have been based here to work on the range of products available. These are site photographs. The top left shows Kemp's house, the Grade 2 star listed building, and to the right you can see Marquee A in relation to this. The bottom photograph shows more detail of this marquee. These photographs on the top left, they show Marquee B to the right. At the very top is Marquee A, and to the left is Kemp's house. This road forms part of the public right-of-way, and the bottom photograph shows this marquee from the public car park to the south of the site. As noted, the site is within the countryside and the high-wheeled area of outstanding natural beauty. Whilst the structures are viewed in the context of existing buildings, they are considered to be large in scale, readily visible, and of a design that is not considered to be in keeping with the character of the surrounding area. As such, it is identified to be harmful to the character of the countryside and the AONB. Council's Conservation Officer has also been consulted on the application regarding the impact of the Grade 2 and Grade 2 star listed buildings. It is advised that these structures are prominent in the views from the Grade 2 star listed building and its immediate setting. They are substantial in size, considered to be of a poor design and construction, and are therefore advised to detract from the setting of both listed buildings. This harm has been identified as less than substantial. The National Planning Policy Framework sets out that this harm must be balanced against the public benefits as set out in full in the officer's report. The public benefits, in summary, are considered to be that this proposal would allow an existing and established family business to continue. Supporting information has been provided that sets out this business's successes and that they employ local people. These structures were erected during the pandemic to allow the company to run safely. Their retention for 2 years is to allow the business to continue during challenging and changing times. Due to the current circumstances and national advice, it is advised that significant weight should be given to supporting local businesses. Overall, whilst the proposal is considered to be harmful and not comply with policies as set out previously, specific public benefits have been identified that will allow the continuation of an established local business, and this harm would not be permanent. Furthermore, this decision would not set a precedent for retaining the structures beyond the 2 years. The recommendation before you is therefore for approval. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Caroline. We do not have any public speakers, but I am asked to read out what would be if he was here. It's only that much. I don't propose to go through the traffic light system. I really don't think it's going to take longer than that. All right, so this is from Nicholas Antonio. He's the planning agent for this application. It says, "Dear members, the applicants, Maker and Sons, do not wish to take up much of your time today, but do wish to say thank you to both the council and its officers for taking a balanced view and recommending that a temporary permission be granted. Makers and Son is a local firm with many of its staff being local. As a furniture maker, it has, like many, grappled with the pandemic over the last 18 months and required the Marquis to, in order to spread staff out, maintaining a safe distance and working environment for its staff and visiting persons. This duty of care runs through the company, and as for the pandemic, has altered working practices. The Marquis are required for the next 2 years while new longer-term arrangements are put in place. Any impact is only temporary, is therefore asked the members to support their officer's recommendation and grant planning permission for the temporary period." As I'm the local member, I think I'm going to actually, my right to speak first, I think, on this one. I welcome this application. They are a local firm. They do employ people, as in the statement, and we're not only here just for housing, we're here for the economic development, and as a consequence, there's a balancing act here. Is there harm to the grade listed building? Potentially, yes, but it's less than substantial. So therefore, the officers and the conservation officer have taken a view that this far outweighs the harm to the area of outstanding natural beauty. So therefore, I shall be supporting the officer's recommendation. Does any other member wish to speak?
I have no...
Hang on, Councillor Eggleston.
I'd like to second that recommendation.
Okay, he's going to promote it, propose it.
I was going to say, Chairman, as there were no indication of anybody wanting to speak, I propose to move this recommendation.
And Councillor Eggleston is the seconder. Okay, we'll take a vote. Mr. Clark? Not doing that more. Right, does it? It's not, it's going to read it out.
I'll read it. Councillor Brown? Yes. Councillor Cartwright?
Yes.
Councillor Cogan or White not here. Councillor Coote?
4.
Councillor DeBell?
4.
Councillor Eggleston?
4.
Councillor Forbes?
4.
Councillor Marsh?
4.
Councillor Phillips?
4.
Councillor Pulfer?
4.
And Councillor Sweatman.
4.
That's unanimous, Chairman.
That application has passed. Thank you, Caroline. We're going to take a short break for those who were here last month. We've just got to clean the keyboard of the computer. Caroline, can you just take your thing and then ready for Anna? Thank you. Thank you very much. Operating theatre, honestly. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
We now move to item 6, which is DM 211758, Willie Tree Preschool Barn Cottage Pavilion, Barn Cottage Lane, Haywards Heath. Anna, this is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, councillors, I just draw your attention to the update sheet, which was circulated earlier today. Just briefly running through the matters on that sheet. There has been an amended comment received from the Environmental Health Officer, and they have taken a view that rather than requiring an acoustic fence around the play area, they're going to recommend that that is not required after all. So there is no condition in respect of an acoustic fence, but I'll come back to that matter later. Secondly, the design at paragraphs 35, there should be an amendment to that paragraph in that policy DP26 should have been outlined in full in that paragraph. So that is an omission, but members should insert that policy in that point. Following on from policy E9, the reference to the design guide, there should be some reference to policies within the design guide and the principles 37 at page 94 and 39, page 104 in that guide. Finally, it should say at that point that the development will accord with the principles of the Mid-Sussex Design Guide. And then page 37, impact on residential amenity, the final paragraph should also make reference to policy DP29. Coming to the end, page 43 at the end of Appendix A, the informative should refer to a list of plans, and there's been a revision to the site plan that instead of referring to revision version A, we should be referring to version B, which was submitted on the 10th of August. And finally, as a result of consideration of the request for some sort of fencing on the play area, it is considered that in order to protect the visual amenity of the area, that there should be some sort of form of fencing around that area, which we would need to control by a new condition 9. So I'm referring to a new condition, number 9, which should read, before the use of the community building hereby permitted commences, details of the intended means of enclosing the outdoor nursery play area shall be submitted to and approved in writing by the local planning authority with a reason to maintain the visual amenities of the area and to accord with policy DP 26 of the Mid-Sussex District Plan. That's it on the updates. I'll now go on to the overheads to give you a presentation of the proposal, which is for a new mixed-use purpose-built community centre with use by a day nursery together with adjoining tunnel to the existing pavilion. So the application site is to the south of the existing pavilion and play area at Barn Cottage Lane, off America Lane in Haywards Heath. The application follows a previous approval under DP 19-1624 for a similar. Sorry, I've just been asked to put the full screen correctly, so apologies. That's it. So it follows a previous approval for a new similar community building to be built in this position, and that approval remains extant. The application is being reported to this planning committee as Mid-Sussex District Council with the landowner. So on the site we have the proposed new building in red, which is here, with an associated blue area around an outdoor play space for the nursery use. And to the north of the existing pavilion, there is a children's play area with swings and other play equipment and an outdoor gym area. The plan outlines the new location for an existing, which is here, octagonal youth shelter, and the new position is down here, closer to the junction with America Lane. The block plan here shows the layout of the new pavilion to the south of the existing, with a fenced link between the two buildings, which is in this area here. And new ramped access routes and paths around the new building, which is accessed from the front of this side. These are the north and south elevations of that building. The north elevation being built in brick and the southern elevation with a vertical timber-clad finish with a projecting feature window in the gable end, which is here. The east and west elevations show the design of the building as it will be viewed from Barn Cottage Lane from the west and from the football pitch to the east. This shows how the building would sit alongside the existing pavilion with a contemporary building design incorporating a gabled roof line with materials including brick and vertical clad timber walls, timber clad roof dormer to allow an elevated first view over the football pitch, and aluminium windows. New railings are proposed on the western side of the access path to the front double doors with an entrance canopy. These photos illustrate the existing form and position of the brick pavilion building which occupies the site and the associated children's play area, adjacent football pitch and the octagonal youth centre which is to be relocated. And finally, the floor plans show the building has a ground floor and a partial first floor area, with the southern part accommodating a full height main hall of approximately 130 square metres in area, and the northern part of the building accommodating the lobby, toilets, offices and stores and kitchen, which is to be used by the nursery. And the first floor accommodates stores and the viewing area. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Anna. We don't have any public speakers, but I do have the local ward councillor, Councillor Stephen Hillier. Would you like to come to that seat there? And you're aware that ward councillors are not restricted in how long they speak, but don't try the patience, as they say.
Thank you, Chairman. I will speak only briefly, and it wouldn't trouble the traffic light systems, hopefully. Basically, I am strongly in favour of this application. Since being elected to represent this ward on the Town Council back in 2011, it's long been an aspiration of mine to have a genuine community centre in Bentswood. The current building, which was built for this purpose by the District Council many decades ago, has never effectively done this because it's been continually used by nurseries and occasional users of the green. So by having this proposed new building, it is hoped that the nursery will move into it, and then the existing pavilion will be refurbished and extended a little using monies already granted, Section 106 monies already granted by the grants panel from this council to make it fit for a range of community uses. So the ward members at all tiers are strongly in favour of this, as are key partners in the community. And I think not only will it provide the community with the facilities that it deserves, but actually the presence of the scouting movement in our neighbourhood is going to be a massive benefit to the young people in and around the area. You're probably aware of the kind of history and background of Bentswood. And an incidental benefit, last thing I wanted to say, is that I think by this area being used frequently, nearly every evening, it will cease some of the antisocial behaviour that we know goes on behind the current pavilion. That's all I wish to say, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. It's over to you, members. I'm going to ask Councillor Pulford, because you are only ABC Town member here. If you wish to say anything or not, please maybe.
Only to support Councillor Hillier's comments. I think it's a welcome addition, particularly for the younger people, and again, it will cut out hopefully some of the antisocial behaviour. And I think too that perhaps the environmental officer won't be too harsh on any of the fencing, because I think the young people need to be able to see outside of where they are when they're playing. And that's
fine. I think I don't think we had much to say about it when it came in front of our committee a couple of years ago. I think we thoroughly supported it then. Does anybody else wish to speak?
No further indication, Chairman. Members recommended.
Can I have a seconder?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Pulford. Mr. Clark?
Yes, Councillor Brown. 4. Councillor Cartwright.
4.
Councillor Coote.
4.
Councillor DeBell.
4.
Councillor Eggleston.
4.
Councillor Forbes.
4.
Councillor Marsh.
4.
Councillor Phillips.
4.
Councillor Pulford.
4.
And Councillor Swetman.
4.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Thank you. What I should have mentioned, the recommendation you've got in your papers, that does include the new condition that was put in condition 9. Unless anybody has real issues with condition 9, we haven't. Okay, so moving on. We're on item 7, questions pursuant to Council Procedure Rule 10.2, due notice which has been given. I have none. And so I'm going to close the meeting at 24:25. And I just ask members just to stay in situ for a few seconds so I get given the go-ahead that this live stream is ending.